They've filled arenas, broken records, and given us the hits we'll never forget. From pop icons to rock legends, these music stars helped define entire eras of sound and style. But now it's 2025, and their looks have evolved with time. Can you still recognize them today? You'll have 5 seconds to guess each one from their current look before we reveal the artist behind the fame. Let's rewind music history together and then versus now. Annie Lennox's distinctive voice and striking image ensured her success as a legendary solo artist in the 90s. At 70 in 2025, she dedicates her time to humanitarian efforts while occasionally performing benefit concerts. Greek star Anna Vissi brought her powerful vocals and Mediterranean pop to an international audience in the early 2000s. At 67 in 2025, she remains a cultural icon and performs in major European festivals. Angie Stone's soulful neo-soul sound and mature songwriting made her a beloved soloist in the late 90s R&B scene. At 63 in 2025, she performs selective shows and focuses on wellness and music education projects. Angie Martinez, already known as a radio personality, made a mark with her energetic solo hip-hop tracks in the 2000s. At 54 in 2025, she focuses on her successful radio career and mentoring young female rappers. Anastasia's powerful voice and upbeat pop singles made her an international solo sensation in the early 2000s. At 56 in 2025, she performs selectively and works on projects supporting cancer awareness worldwide. Amy Studd's edgy teenage pop captured UK audiences with its vulnerable and rebellious themes in early 2000s. At 39 in 2025, she lives quietly and records personal music projects. Amy Correa's Americana style and strong storytelling gave her acclaim as a solo singer-songwriter in the early 2000s. At 55 in 2025, she works with nonprofit music education programs. Alison Sudol built a solo career as a fine frenzy with ethereal lyrics and gentle piano-driven melodies. At 40 in 2025, she focuses mostly on acting and environmental activism while releasing occasional songs. Z Avis' ukulele-driven indie pop from Malaysia brought her international recognition and a loyal fan base. At 38 in 2025, she lives in Hawaii, focusing on visual arts and occasional performances. Toni Child's eclectic pop-rock style and passionate voice gained her a devoted following in the 90s music world. At 68 in 2025, she focuses on humanitarian projects and occasionally records music inspired by her travels. Tina Arena became one of Australia's most iconic solo artists with her powerful voice and internationally successful pop ballads. At 57 in 2025, she performs occasionally in Europe and Australia while focusing on mentoring young performers. Tara Kemp's dance pop hits in the early 90s brought her mainstream attention as a solo artist. At 60 in 2025, she occasionally appears at nostalgic concerts, but mostly avoids the public eye. Selena Johnson became known for her soulful neo-soul vocals and sharp lyrical themes in the early 2000s. At 49 in 2025, she co-hosts a lifestyle show while recording independently. Sonia was one of the UK's sweet pop voices in the early 90s, producing cheerful singles with stock Aiken Waterman. At 54 in 2025, She works with young musicians and occasionally tours nostalgic pop shows. Sheena Easton transitioned into the 90s with chart-topping pop hits, remaining a prominent solo artist worldwide. At 66 in 2025, she mostly lives privately in Las Vegas and performs only select shows. Rachel Platten's early singles paved the way for later hits, establishing her as a solo pop singer-songwriter. At 44 in 2025, she balances family life with songwriting for film and television. Patsy Cline Jr. carried her mother's legacy with heartfelt country pop singles during the mid-90s. At 54 in 2025, she runs a foundation for music education and heritage preservation. Nick Acosta's funky, soulful style and strong stage presence made her a standout soloist in the early 2000s. At 52 in 2025, she tours selectively while focusing on raising her children in Los Angeles. Narana Pallet gained acclaim as a solo singer-songwriter with her clever lyrics and melodic pop-rock style. At 49 in 2025, she releases independent records and plays small theater tours. Natalie Grant became a leading voice in contemporary Christian solo music with her soaring vocals and passionate performances. At 53 in 2025, she focuses on humanitarian work while still performing at faith-based events. Natalie Bassingthwaighte broke out as a pop soloist in Australia, blending catchy dance beats with a confident stage persona. At 49 in 2025, she balances acting and presenting roles while still releasing occasional singles. Belgian pop singer Melanie Cole gained international attention performing for Eurovision with her charming ballad and fresh teenage appeal. At 43 in 2025, she lives privately in Belgium, focusing on her family and occasional songwriting projects. Micah Paris became a leading voice in British soul with her emotive delivery and consistent solo releases during the 90s. At 56 in 2025, she focuses on hosting TV programs while still recording soulful covers. Melanie B launched a solo career after the Spice Girls with bold pop singles and a dynamic image. At 50 in 2025, she works mostly in TV while releasing occasional singles. Macy Gray's raspy voice and quirky style made her one of the most unique solo pop soul performers of the late 90s. At 57 in 2025, she releases occasional albums while devoting time to art and film projects. Lutricia McNeil's pop R&B style and catchy hits made her a popular solo artist in Europe in the late 90s. At 51 in 2025, she lives quietly in Sweden, occasionally performing at nostalgic music events. Norwegian singer-songwriter Lena Marlin gained worldwide fame with her soft pop ballads in the late 90s. At 45 in 2025, she writes for other artists and rarely makes public appearances. Kimberly Locke gained attention from American Idol and became a successful solo pop artist in the early 2000s. At 46 in 2025, she manages a talent agency and performs small charity events. Carrie Ellis became a known solo artist with her powerful vocals after making her name in West End musicals. At 46 in 2025, she performs in theater and records symphonic albums blending musical theater and rock influences. Julie Roberts made an emotional impact on country fans with her expressive voice and heartfelt ballads. At 46 in 2025, she focuses on motherhood and occasional music projects. JoJo burst onto the music scene as a teenage pop R&B sensation with an impressively mature voice and catchy singles. At 34 in 2025, she performs small tours and works as a vocal coach for up-and-coming talent. Joanna Pacity's pop debut gained attention with heartfelt lyrics and a fresh voice, marking her as a rising soloist. At 41 in 2025, she mainly writes for other artists while occasionally releasing songs independently for fans. Jessica Harp made a brief solo country pop career after her duo work, releasing a few well-received singles. At 43 in 2025, she teaches songwriting and vocal performance to students across Nashville. Jackie Velasquez's inspirational pop style and faith-driven lyrics earned her success as a teenage solo singer in the late 90s. At 46 in 2025, she continues to perform at Christian music festivals and leads worship events. Heather Small gained solo recognition after her success with M People, impressing with her soulful voice and positive messages. At 61 in 2025, she performs at charity galas and spends time on motivational speaking. Heather Nova gained a strong international following in the 90s with her heartfelt lyrics and atmospheric pop rock sound. At 58 in 2025, she continues to record independently while living a quiet life in Bermuda. Eliza Doolittle charmed audiences with her playful pop melodies and breezy vocal delivery in the late 2000s. At 39 in 2025, she quietly writes for other artists and performs small shows in London. Debbie Gibson, a pop prodigy of the 80s, continued her solo career into the 90s with mature songwriting and performances. At 54 in 2025, she mentors young artists and performs at retro music events. Chynna Phillips pursued solo music with heartfelt ballads after the success of Wilson Phillips in the early 90s. At 57 in 2025, she works mostly in family projects and rarely performs publicly. Charlotte Church transitioned from classical music prodigy to pop solo star with a bold and mature image in mid-2000s. At 39 in 2025, she records rarely and focuses on family life and activism in Wales. Billie Meyer's husky voice and heartfelt lyrics made her debut song a staple of late 90s adult contemporary radio. At 54 in 2025, she writes for other artists and performs small nostalgic tours in the UK. The songs may be timeless, and the legends behind them just as unforgettable. So how many did you guess right? Drop your score in the comments. Tell us which transformation shocked you most. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Then versus Now, where music icons never fade.